I wanted my Cinnamon Toast Crunch ate, so that's why I put up with it.
Don't wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty. Don't wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty.
I haven't recorded a sit down video in so long. Like, y'all, it feel weird recording this video, but you've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you do my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing, because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on period. And Mary had a little land. So as y'all can see by the title of the video, today I'm gonna be telling y'all about the time my ex tried to sabotage me. He tried to sabotage my relationship with my father. Like, y'all, anytime I think of this story time, I just get tickled, because it's just like, who does this? Like, when I tell y'all what he did, y'all gonna be like, what? Like, who does this? Like, what grown man does this? But y'all, we gonna go ahead and get into it. So y'all already know, in order for any of my story times to make sense, I have to give y'all a little backstory. So I did do a story time about him before, so I'm gonna keep the same name just so y'all don't get confused. And that story time, I named him I believe I named him Cray Cray. It was a story time about my ex help keeping me hostage, y'all. So yeah, we gonna keep the same name, and Cray Cray stand for crazy. Cray Cray and I met when I was back in high school. This was like in 2014, maybe the end of 2013. But I used to live in this neighborhood where it had a basketball court, and all the guys from like other neighborhoods, they would come to the basketball court to play ball. And at this time, I had a little Shih Tzu, y'all, and I used to always walk my dog alongside the court. And anytime Cray Cray see me walking my dog, it would be mid-game, y'all. This man would stop the game, or he would just drop out of the game, and he would come walk my dog with me. Or like, anytime he seen me outside, it didn't matter what was going on, like, Asia had his attention. Like, he would literally run up to me, walk my dog with me for like 15-20 minutes, and I would just go back in the house. And that's kind of how our relationship started. Like, the first maybe first month of our relationship, that's all it was. Asia would walk her dog, and he would just walk alongside of me. You do a little small talk here and there, and that was pretty much our relationship. But y'all already know how your girl is. If you are persistent and you have enough, I don't know, if you persistent and you a good talker, not no more, but at that time you could pretty much pull your girl. Like, I am just a sucker for men that can hold a conversation and that's persistent. Like, you know, that just takes a lot. Like, I don't know, y'all, I was just a sucker for those type of guys. So me and him end up being in a relationship maybe like 2-3 months later, and I already knew the relationship was toxic from the start, y'all. Like, this man, oh, I told y'all in my last story time that he was 5'5", so he did have the short man syndrome. His beard did not connect. He was really obsessive, really aggressive, really controlling, and I don't know, y'all, I just knew that this relationship wasn't gonna last. But this was my first love. Like, we did everything together for the first time. For at least on my end, it was my first everything. So your girl was in love, and I was kind of like emotionally attached to him, y'all. And you know, time passed. I want to say we dated for like 2 years. If y'all watch my He Helped Me Hostage story time, that's pretty much how the relationship ended. Like I said, we was together for 2 years. He was my first love. But after that little situation happened, I'm not going to go back into that story time. But if you want to know what happened, click on that story time. I'll have it linked down below. So after that situation happened, we were done or whatever. But y'all know how it is when you get out of a relationship. Definitely when it's your first love, your first everything, you're not really ready to like give it up. Like, you're not really ready to, how do I say this? We're gonna be using code names because y'all know we on the tube. Your girl wasn't ready to like give up her Cinnamon Toast Crunch, y'all. I really wasn't ready to like, you know, go out there and give somebody else my goodies. So I used to double back. Like, me and him wasn't together at all. I didn't want to be with him anymore because I already knew he was toxic. But your girl just was, I just wasn't ready to give up my goodies, y'all. And I knew he didn't deserve it, but I didn't know who else deserved it. So I used to just double back. So even though I knew that we was not going to be together, and I just, y'all, I just should never been doing it. But the girls that get it. The girls that don't. So anyway, this probably lasted for about a month after we broke up. I continued to like give him my Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and at this time he was basically telling me he still wanted to be with me, he still wanted me, he still liked me. But I was being really stern. Like, I knew what it was, and I kind of just kept it strictly that. Like, we wasn't getting back together, we weren't dating. It was just that, you know, your girl had needs. So boom, like a month after we officially broke up, your girl met someone. We gonna go ahead and call this new guy Ted. Ted was fine. Ted was not 5'5". He was still short. He was 5'4", so he was 4 inches taller, y'all. He was more confident. He wasn't insecure like Cray Cray. His beard connected, you know, so he was just different. And me and Ted just had a lot in common. Like at the time, my major at FAMU was OT. I was majoring in occupational therapy. Ted was older than me. He had already graduated from FAMU. He was a manager at this rehab center. He was telling me once I graduate, he can help me get a job. He would take me on dates all the time. Like, y'all, the whole situation with Ted was just a vibe. Like, I just like the ex, the new guy, the ex, the new guy. It was just, y'all, the ratio was off. So I already knew who I wanted to be with, but at this time I still had the little toxic thing going on with Ted, and with Cray Cray. Like I said, me and Cray Cray did date for 2 years, so my whole family like knew him. Like my dad knew him, my mom knew him, my brothers knew him, my friends knew him. Like everybody knew him, and they already knew that he was crazy. At the time, I did tell my family that like we were no longer together, but my family still treated him like family. Like even when I wouldn't go home for breaks, he would pop by my family house and say hi to them. He would talk to my mom all the time. Basically he was just in it with my family, y'all. Everybody like loved him still or whatever. Like to this day, my mama wanted us to get married, but it's just like, Mom, it's not happening. Like, girl, you married him. But anywho, y'all, me and Ted, we ended or whatever. We moving strong, and Cray Cray is still being crazy. Like, y'all, I was basically crack, and he was a crackhead. Like, he was still on your girl body. He probably would do pop-ups like 2 or 3 times a week. He would pop up to my crib, check my closet, check underneath my bed to make sure like no male belongings was there. He was just really crazy. And I know y'all thinking like, girl, why did you put up with this? And y'all, I wanted my Cinnamon Toast Crunch ate, so that's why I put up with it. But anyway, I digress. So eventually I grew balls once it started getting serious between me and Ted. One day Cray Cray had popped up to my crib, and I was actually with Ted, and I think I mentioned this previously in another story time, but this is where I knew like me and Cray Cray, like I had to just cut all ties with him. I was on a date with Ted, and at the end of the date, y'all, I'm sitting in the car, me and Ted, you know, we talking, a conversation all gravy, and y'all, the next thing I know, I see a black cat, aka Cray Cray, run across the car, y'all, and he's running, y'all, he's running up the stairs to my apartment, and I'm in the car with Ted, and I'm just like, oh shit, like that's my ex, like I gotta go or whatever. So I tell Ted I have to go, and Ted is probably thinking like, what the fuck? It was like, this actually happened. This was our first date, y'all. So I run upstairs, and I basically lied because I didn't know how to like just be like, hey, I was on a date, this is what happened. So I'm just like, oh, I just left the gym, and Cray Cray is just like, why you got that on? What's this? What's that? He comes in the house, he checks the closet, and this is the day I put my foot down. I was just like, I can't do this no more. Like, this is toxic. Like, we are no longer doing this. Like, you can no longer eat my cereal. Like, I can't give you my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You need to try a new flavor. Like, I heard Fruity Pebbles was good. Like, we can't keep doing this. So he was just like, what? Is it another nigga? Is it another nigga? Who the nigga is? And I'm just like, yeah, it is another nigga. Like, I'm seeing somebody right now. And he's like, oh, who you seeing? Who you seeing? And at this time, I didn't feel comfortable with giving him his name, because it's just like, that ain't none of your business who I'm seeing. Like, you're not paying my bills. Like, why do you need to know who I'm seeing? So I'm just like, no, I don't want to tell you who I'm seeing, but just know he's good for me. He's like a mentor to me. I like him, and whatever me and you have going on is done. Like, finito. Like, it's done. Like, we can't do this no more. So he's angry, y'all. He's belligerent. He's yelling at me. He's like trying to go through my phone, and he's just like, who is this new nigga? Blah, 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 blah. And he really, y'all, he's really not having it. Like I said, he was very controlling. So he really wasn't having it. He ended up, I think we talked about it that night. I told him that I was seeing somebody. I was firm. I stood on my word. And he left that night real angry. Maybe like a few weeks later, I would see Cray Cray around school. He didn't go to the same school as me at the time, but I would just see him around school here and there. And I would see him with other females, and I would be like, dang, like finally he's off my, like, y'all, he off my back. Like, finally he has moved on. He's trying different flavors. Like, good for him. Like, I'm happy for him. Like, when I would see him, it was this one girl, I remember seeing him on campus with her, and I was just like, thank the Lord. Like, thank the Lord that she done brought you, you know, another flavor. Like, thank God. So, I thought everything was good because, like I said, I was seeing him around school with other people. So I'm just like, all right, we good. Like, he not on my back no more. He don't want me no more. Like, Asia who, Cinnamon Toast Crunch who, like, he don't want me no more. Like, we good. But y'all, no, we not good. So probably 2 months after this situation, I get a call from my dad, and I'm like, hello, and my dad's like, hey Asia, how's everything going? I talked to Cray Cray, and I'm like, oh, you did? Everything's good. Like, my grades are good, I'm doing good in school, like, everything's good. And he was like, is there anything you need to tell me? And I'm just like, no, like, no, I had chicken for lunch today. Like, no, there's nothing I need to tell you. So he was just like, I don't know how to say this, but Cray Cray told me that you were your mentor. You were your mentor. And I said, huh? Excuse me? Daddy, my mentor is a girl. My mentor is a female. And he was just like, are you sure about that? Because Cray Cray told me that you have been your mentor for months now. And y'all, I do want to mention, at the time I did have a mentor, but she was a female, and she was like a mentor in this organization that I was involved in. And I used to go to this organization. We used to have meetings every Sunday, so I used to tell my parents about these meetings that I would go to on Sunday. So I would be like, oh mom, I'm going to go meet up with my mentor. So this is probably who my daddy thought that I was sleeping with. And Cray Cray didn't know what he was talking about. He told my daddy that I was sleeping with my mentor, and basically he was telling my daddy that I was promiscuous, and I was basically had my doors wide open because he was mad that we weren't a thing anymore. And yeah, y'all, that was pretty much the story time on how my crazy ex tried to make me look bad and sabotage my relationship with my father. Like, who does that? And to this day, y'all, I never even told him that I knew that he went and told my father that I was sleeping with my mentor. And my mentor that he was talking about was Ted. Although Ted wasn't my mentor, I told him he was like a mentor to me, but he was trying to like get one up on me. So he went and told my family. He told my mom that, my dad that, and he told my granddaddy that I was sleeping with my mentor. And my family was just confused. They were perplexed. Like who does that? Like, who does that, y'all? But anyway, that's the story time on how my ex told my family that I was banging my mentor. And I know this story time was kind of short, y'all, but I'm not gonna lie, I just got a package at the door and I'm trying to open it up. I'm gonna drop 3 more story times this month, so don't worry. The Hood Mechanic story time is actually 30 minutes long, so I got y'all. Don't do too much. Enjoy this video and like it, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.